dip out. Hold on a second.
Well, we got a guest today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Matter of fact, he's in the room. I'm gonna assume he's ready because he's in the room. Um, y'all know him. Y'all seen him since 1997. He dropped his first single, The Theme. Came back with the full length dope album, Many Faces. He's dropped multiple projects since then. Most recently, he had an album called Glory that dropped in 2020. And it's dope. And I got some questions about that joint specifically. And actually, I've seen him in the mix recently doing a couple interviews. He got the new freestyle joint. So we're gonna chop it up about all that good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Traceylee, Tracey Lee.
Peace and blessings.
Yo, what's good? The camera ain't on? You can't hear me?
Now I
I
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you. Yeah.
Hold
Tap the
on. There we
picture.
go. We're good now, right?
If you
There
tap
we
your
go.
picture, the camera should show up and you can hit that.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Let me see.
Y'all go ahead and tap the screen a little bit if y'all don't mind. Share the live with somebody. Let them know it's Beat Cypha Wednesday.
All right,
There
there
you
we
go.
go.
Salute,
What's
Yeah.
bro.
good, man?
How you feel?
Peace and blessings.
All is well, man. Good to see y'all brothers, man. I'm, wearing multiple hats, man. I'm at track practice with my son and all that. So, I was like, yeah, I forgot. I got to do this interview. So, we it's a juggling act over here. You dig me?
I hear that.
Glad
Do what
glad
you
you could
got to do.
join.
No doubt, no doubt. Yeah. Track. I know that life. I just wrapped up that life actually in May. So
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah,
I
man.
wrapped
I
up
got a
that
long way
life.
to go. My son is 8, and I got a daughter that's 10 that plays soccer, and he plays some other stuff. So, this is a marathon,
What's
man.
up?
Absolutely, absolutely. Take your time. Look, I tell everybody, man, enjoy it. Enjoy all of it, because people be like, "Ah, man, I can't wait till you get out." They be rushing the kids and all that. Nah, enjoy all of it. It's
That's what's
all,
up.
'cause once it's over, it's over. You can't go
Yeah,
backwards.
and I heard it goes by fast too. So,
It, yes,
Yeah, my
indeed.
daughter
Yes,
turned
indeed.
20 Sunday.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Yeah,
It's real in the field.
for
But
sure. So,
like, appreciate you joining us. We're just gonna get into it so we
yeah,
can get you back to focusing on the youngin.
all good,
Um,
all good.
Off rip. You got the free, because one of my early questions was gonna be, what happened in between? Uh, I guess the original deal,
Yeah,
and now. But you kind of touched on that in the freestyle, right?
yeah, man. I mean, a lot of things transpired. So the original deal was, I think that expunged probably like around 2000, 2001. And then we had to figure some things out after that. So um, the cash flow dwindled down, and what I mean, I relocated to Atlanta and all this stuff. So it was like, okay, what do we do? And I'm a real spiritual cat, so of course I gave it to God, and he just you know put it on my brain to go to law school. Why? Because of a lot of the things that I'd already been through, as an artist. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the things in hindsight that, had I known, what I mean, I probably wouldn't have signed the deal as is. You know what I mean? The lawyer that I had at the time wasn't really an entertainment lawyer. He was more like a corporate lawyer. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't understand the nuances of a recording contract. You dig me? So that's what I did, man. In 2003, I went to Southern University Law School, and I got my degree, my JD in 2006, passed the bar in 2007, and been a licensed attorney for the last 18, entertainment attorney for the last 18 years. But in the meantime, between time, we still making music. You know what I'm saying? We never stopped making music. I got vaults and vaults and vaults and vaults of music, and just started releasing things independently, man. Put out my first project, ESQ, as an independent in 2014 under my own imprint. Then we put out Expect the Unexpected in 2019. Then we put out Glory. I heard you mention that in 2020. And then I put out an album called Different in 2022, but I went direct to consumer. We didn't even put it on the streaming platforms. You know what I'm saying?
Ah,
And then putting out, singles in between that. You know what I mean? So yeah, we never stopped doing what we love to do. You dig me?
Yeah.
well, you mentioned a couple things that I wanna ask about, but congratulations, obviously, in order for the law school thing. As I mentioned the track thing just ended in May. My youngest daughter graduated, and she is headed to law school next month.
Oh,
So
dope.
yeah, so I was going to ask you if you had a piece of advice for her. Could you drop a gem that she can take with her on her way?
Oh man, I think the main thing, well, because I went as an older student, I was 32, I believe, so I had been out of undergrad for 10 years. And so for me, my focus was different. I don't know how old your daughter is, but I think the commonality between, you know, a person my age and and people that were younger than me is that you got to understand you're there for a purpose. You understand that the focus is what it is, and there may be some things that may draw you away from that. But them 3 years go by fast, so just stay focused on what you're trying to do, and you in and out of there. You know what I'm saying? But the main thing is the focus, because there's a lot of reading, there's a lot of studying, there's a lot of things that that are not what you're going to experience in the undergrad level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm gonna clip that and shoot it to
Yeah,
her.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
So we talked about, well, you mentioned glory, and you mentioned being spiritual. Now you could hear that a little bit on repent on in the early days.
Yes.
Glory feels like a gospel-ish
Mm,
record, like a lot.
mm.
I guess that was on purpose.
Yeah, yeah. You can say that because that was in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So like all of us, we didn't know what the hell that was. We didn't know what was going on. The world just stopped.
Yeah.
So what do you do in these times? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what to think. You don't know how to react because you've never been in this situation for the most part. I think as to keep it all the way a buck, as black people, we know how to survive, but there still was something different about this, especially when you can't get outside, or they tell us you can't go outside, and they tell you, you know what I mean, don't touch nothing, and wear gloves and wear a mask and all this other, based off ignorance. Nobody knew anything. But what I did is that I took advantage of the situation by focusing on my family, by focusing on things internally, and I promise you, I've of all the projects that I've done, like full length projects, I've never completed a project as fast, as efficient, and as thorough as that particular album. And I attribute that to being a vessel. You know what I'm saying? Me and my producer were in two different spaces. I recorded my vocals at the crib, sent it to him. He did what he did on his end, and just the way we went about putting that project together was just amazing in itself. So yeah, man, that was something different. And as I listen to all my projects, that particular project stands out the most to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that joint is dope. That joint is dope. So I definitely tell people you need to check out Glory if you haven't heard it before, by Tracey Lee. For those who don't know, it's Tracey Lee in the building. Shout out, this is my man DNA Beats. Over here
Salute.
we got Big Dude from Sporty Thieves. Um, Dude, I know you got a question or two.
He actually answered my question because I was gonna touch up on his law school. I read that somewhere a long time ago, and I was, but he answered it,
What
But
I, what
my
I, what I, what I, what was the question? What was it? Maybe I can double back and give you some more insight on it. What
no,
was it?
I was gonna ask. At first, I couldn't remember. I was gonna say politician or something like that, but then I remembered it was law school. And I was gonna ask you how was the process, but you really touched on it. But I do have a question for beat makers that stick to your type of style of music, boom bap and stuff like that. If
Mhm.
they want to reach out to you, how would they reach out to you to get them on to get on the track?
Oh, that's easy. You can go to my probably the best way is to go to my email, go to TraceyLeeMusic.com, TRACEYLEE music.com. That's, where I centralize everything and all things music. You know what I'm saying? So, you got the fire. And I don't discriminate. It's fire is fire. You know what I mean?
No doubt, no doubt. Before you leave, if you don't mind, throw that email in the comments so
Oh,
we can have it
absolutely.
on there.
For sure. For
Hey,
sure.
dude, you got a question for Tracey Lee?
Trey,
What up?
peace, beloved, big dude, sporty thieves. How you doing, my brother?
Oh, my guy. What's up with you, baby? How are you,
Super
sir?
salute, super salute,
Super
super salute,
salute to
super
you,
salute.
brother. Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
I got a great question for you, right?
What's
You
good?
came out a little bit before us, maybe like two or 3 years before us, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had you had a great manager on your
Mm-hmm.
side, and you had great production. How did you feel about the industry once everything started moving for you?
It was different, man, because going back to the management, right? We were all young. We were all like early 20s. So it may have appeared that people knew what they were doing, but we didn't. People were learning on the
Okay,
fly.
okay,
You know what I'm
okay,
saying? Like we didn't
okay, okay.
it took 20 years to really know what this is about.
Figure it out. Figure it all out.
You dig
Figure
what I
out
mean?
what the who, what, where, when, and whys.
Absolutely. So all of this
Understood.
was learned
Understood.
on
And
the
that's
fly.
where I'm at right now. Understood.
Yeah, yeah, you know where I'm coming from. You know what I'm saying? You know exactly where I'm coming from. So, it was a lesson
Exactly.
learned. But I feel like but for real, I feel like at least for me, I had to go through that. You know what I'm saying? Hindsight looking, I had to go through that. You know what I mean? Because let's just say, for instance, things would have popped off the way I thought it should have popped off. Was I really ready for that? You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like, was
mm.
I really
Understood.
ready for that? You know what I mean? I don't.
Understood.
I can't
Understood.
definitively say yes or no, but I know where I'm at right now, and it's in a great space. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't have been in this space had I not gone through all of that. Dig me?
Understood. Last question.
Yes, sir.
Did you lay your verse first or did Big lay his verse second?
We went back
And
and
wait,
forth.
two part, two part, two
Go
part, two
ahead, go ahead,
part.
go ahead, go ahead,
Real,
go
real
ahead.
quick, real quick.
Yeah.
Did you lay your verse first and did Big lay his verse second? And if it was vice versa and Big laid his verse first, if Big laid his verse first, did you feel pressure?
I can land the first part. I felt no pressure. Let me tell you, you know as well as I do as an MC, right? You feel like you the best in the world. If you don't feel like that,
Exactly. But and you wasn't no motherfucking slouch.
hey, I appreciate that, boy. I appreciate that. But check this out. Big have been listening to me for about a year. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Hey, Landon. There you go.
Bro,
Just
it's
wait.
Taco.
My
Yeah,
bad, my bad.
track practice. Yeah, track
Yeah,
practice.
yeah. Big had been listening to me for about a year before we even got on, the record together. You know what I'm saying? And that's because Mark Pitts had been playing him my demos, right? Like he was the co-sign. He was one of the co-signs. Him and D-Dot, Derek D-Dot Angeletti, they were the co-signs for me getting my deal. Like if he wouldn't have put the stamp on it, if Dot wouldn't have put the stamp on it, then I probably wouldn't have got my deal. So Big already knew what it was before we got in the booth. Now when we get in the booth, he goes, then I go. It went just like the record. He went, I went, he went, I went, he went, and then my last verse didn't really match the bounce. So I had to rewrite what I originally had because at the same time, while we are as MCs, when you get on a record with people, you competing, right? But you still trying to make a great record at the same time. So that's when the
Factory.
record making kicked in on that last verse. It's like, in order for me to put that outro verse on it, the way he came with that, me and my nigga Lance took Timothys advance, the bounce, then I had to outro it kind of in the same vein. You dig me?
One of Big hardest verses.
That's what people say, man.
One of Big
But see,
hardest verses.
absolutely.
You got a classic with you. You got a classic with you, bro.
Hey, man. Listen. I appreciate that, but I tell people when they say, yo, that was one of Big's hardest verses. I like to say, I pushed him there. I brought him there. He didn't have to give me that. He didn't have to do that.
Yeah, talk that.
You know what I'm saying? He could have took the
No,
paper.
but that's a fact. And if I'm not mistaken, even D-Dot said that. I think I've seen that. I think I've seen a quite a few interview or two that D-Dot said that, yo, Big came like that because he knew Trey was coming. That's what's up. And I'm glad and it's super dope and I appreciate being from that era.
Oh man, no
Being
era
from
like
that era
it, bro.
because those things are a thing of the past.
Yep.
But you have a classic verse from one of the greatest artists ever that we have in this culture, and on top of that, you are a great artist yourself, my brother. Super salute.
Hey man, look, it takes one to know one, brother. I know your stats. I know what you do. So don't you
I
ain't just
appreciate
gonna
you.
skate by all of that. You know what I mean? Like
No.
real recognize real, as they say, bro.
I'm
You know what
extremely
I'm saying?
humble. Trey, I'm
You-
extremely humble, brother. I'm extremely humble, man. All I can say right now is that my pen is still heavy and I'm
uh,
producing.
yes.
If it's possible, let's work. That's all
Hey
I
man,
can say, my brother.
say less. Say less, sir.
I
Say
I hit you
less.
on the.
Okay, sound like a plan.
Is
Sound like
that good money? Is
yeah.
someone administrating your gram or?
No, I do all. Look, man. Anything. Everything flows through me. I don't. You know what I mean? Like I
That's
don't.
what's up.
Say less. Say less. I hit you
You
on the
know what I'm
gram.
saying?
Say less. I'm already following you. Say less. I hit you on the
That's what it
gram, brother.
is. That's what it is.
Super salute, man, and I
It's
appreciate your contribution to hip hop because it was super
likewise,
dope.
brother. Likewise, man. It's an honor, bro.
Hey, I know you still moving,
Nah,
Mr.
we
B.
good. I'm in the
As
car
far
now.
as
We're in the car now. We super groovy now. You know what I'm saying?
what's the vibes right now though? So like I mentioned that you had the freestyle joint or the pivot joint.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What we doing?
Um.
What we doing?
Oh man, listen. Okay, so we at a stage now where the industry, the music itself is changing. You know what I mean? I think the approach to how people are doing business is changing. So for me, I feel like I'm in a great space. You know what I'm saying? Like we have nothing to prove in our career, right? We just doing it because we love to do it. God still got, it's giving me the skill to do it. I can still do it at a high level. So I'm gonna just keep putting out joints. Now, the that I have is whether or not I want to just pepper the people with or put out another full project. Haven't decided that yet. In the meantime, keep creating. You know what I mean? It was supposed to be pivot was an exercise, if you will. I was exercising the pen because I hadn't written anything in about 10 months. And you don't use something for a long time, you get a little rusty. So I felt myself, nah, we gotta pick the pen back up. And so we did that record, we took the Barry White sample, one of my favorite samples in hip hop of all time. We just skated with it, put it out there, and the reception has been crazy. So we just gonna continue to do that, man. Continue to create, continue to put records out there, people like it, you know what I mean? We shoot it, and just push it,
That's what it is, bro. Look, I'm gonna let you ride because the sound is going in and out on your trip.
Oh, oh,
So,
oh, sorry,
but
sorry about that, bro.
no, you good. We appreciate you coming through. I know my man Dube asked that you when you get a chance if you could drop your information in the comments.
Okay. Oh yeah,
We
I was in
love
the
that.
process of doing it. Yep.
Okay, cool. Well, we
Yeah,
appreciate it,
I'll
bro.
reach
Once
out through
again.
IG too.
Okay, that's what it is. That's what I just put my
Hey,
my email in
hey,
the joint.
Okay.
Trey, before you go,
Yes, sir.
probably for all of us collectively and possibly for the chat, who would you like to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
Whoa. Don't do that.
That's a
to me,
great.
man.
That's a great question. That's a great question.
Don't do that. Don't do that. That was an excellent.
Listen,
don't
man.
do that.
Listen. I'm 100% hip hop, and I'm also a fan. You know what I mean? So
Yes, sir.
I think
Likewise.
I think that's a dope. I think that's a dope ass question.
I think it's a great question. Let me. You know what?
Because you had two juggernauts. You had two juggernauts, which is incredible. You had two
You.
juggernauts coming out the gate, right?
Uh huh.
Who in 2025, if Trey Lee could collab with two more people, who would Trey Lee want to collab with?
You. I'm gonna give you three. I'm gonna give you three just because I feel like these people are highly regarded as um, as far as excellence with the pen. I feel like they're highly regarded amongst all circles. I'm gonna say Nas. I'm gonna say Black Thought, and then I'm gonna say this is my R&B, D'Angelo.
Mmm.
You
Hey,
feel me?
Mean. Mean.
That's my high school
Mean.
homie. That's
Interesting.
my high school homeboy for real.
Mean, my
If,
brother.
if, if,
Mean.
if I could
And
get
in
a record with one,
2025,
yeah. If I could get
no,
a record with them
2025, you
three,
gonna make that happen.
hey man, listen, we put it in the air, we put it in the atmosphere. You said that's your
It's
homeboy from
already
high
up. It's
school?
already up and it's
Yeah.
stuck. It's already
Let's
up and it's
do it.
stuck. You shitting me?
Yo, dudes, let's do it, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Like, all right, we put it out
My
there. Let's
brother, listen, I'm gonna hit you on the back channel. I'll show you better than I could tell you, man. Let's have some fun. That's
let's
all.
do it, baby. Let's do it, dudes. You know what I'm saying? For
Let's just
sure.
have some fun, brother. That's
Let's
it.
have some fun. Let's have some fun.
That's
You
what's
had
up.
a lot of fun records. We had fun records. It's nothing to make, you know what I mean?
And we're
Simple.
spitters. And we're spitters. See, that's the thing. We can make
Absolutely.
records
Absolutely.
and give you bars at the same time. Baby.
Absolutely.
That's the
Absolutely,
key.
my brother.
That's the
Super
key.
salute.
Super salute.
All right. Once again, it's Tracey Lee. We appreciate you taking time to pull up, bro. Man
All
of
right,
his
man.
word. A man of his word. I
All
like
day,
that. I
baby.
appreciate that.
All
I
day. Hey,
appreciate
look,
that.
y'all fellas, enjoy your evening, man. I get on y'all, man. Peace.
Salute.